Good evening. What's up? Hey, everybody. How y'all doing? Welcome to another segment of Friday Straight Transparency. And we talking about stopping procrastinating. Y'all know how weak that is. So I'm gonna let y'all come on in. And when you come on in, go ahead and share this. When you come in, say good evening. How you doing? How you feeling? Go ahead and share. And you're probably gonna have to say hello because I don't know which platform you're watching from. Hey, how you doing, Prophetess Kiana? Miss Warden? Blessings, blessings. We're talking about procrastinating tonight. And I'm telling you, it's very interesting, some of the things that I learned. And that's good to know. That is good to know. Some of the things that I learned and picked up, with procrastinating. Excuse me, y'all. I got this ponytail in my head and a bit itchy. That look crazy with me scratching my head, huh? So, yeah, and I was dealing with it too, prophetess. But I think I got some clear. It's a whole lot to it, but I'm gonna give you what you know I got, what God led me to. So again, thank you everybody that's coming from the different platforms. If you're on the other platforms, I don't really see you, so you're gonna have to either leave a message or a comment or something like that. I don't know, but hello to you. I can see you. Go ahead and share this um, with your platform on your page. I just want to talk to you for a little minute about procrastination because we know that procrastination can hurt us in the long run, right? So the Webster dictionary is the action or delaying or action of delaying or postponing something. So let me see if I can give you a short synopsis. Just say you got a task that you got to finish. I'm gonna tell you because I used to be a procrastinator, but it was a long time ago. That's why y'all see me always in a hurry to get something done. I'm a visionary, so I'm always putting something in place. But because procrastination, they say the early bird gets the worm. You procrastinate and you sit around and you wait for something to be handed to you. It won't, but you'll never get what you need done. But anywho, let me give you a synopsis of it. Let's just say you got a task or a deadline, right? You got to finish something and some type of work on the job. Now you got a dead. You got about a week to finish this. So the day that you decide the day that you're gonna start on this, y'all know we got the little imp over here and our angel over here, the one that talk good to us over here and the one that talk mess to us over there. And you got that one that's talking mess, that's saying that you know you could probably go hang out for a little while and get your relax on. You deserve it. You off. The deadline is about a week, so you'll get it done. Just relax, and then you end up laying back on your couch. You end up relaxing, probably getting you some wine or whatever you do. Um, or you're getting your a book or something, reading a book, and saying, "I get to that task in a minute. I know what I'm doing on that task already. I know what I'm doing with this project already. I get to it." Then the next day coming, you get distracted by the kids because you got to go to a game or something, and then when you get in, you got to feed them, and you're tired. So that's the second day you haven't started the project, and then here come the third day that you're supposed to be starting this project where you got this 1 week deadline, but you ain't started it yet because now here come on the third day, you too tired to even look at you. So you laying out and you just, hey, good night, everybody that's coming in. I can't see you. Seems like I got other people on other platforms. So if you hear just, hey, how you doing? And, all that good stuff. So here it is, night number 4, and it's just your night. You're going to rest up. And then the 5th day of the week, that Friday. Now, on Monday morning, this thing is due. So now on Friday, because here come the girls, you finna go hang out and go out for a little while and say, I got the weekend. I'll finish it. I could do it all weekend. I'll just stay home and won't do nothing. But here comes Saturday. You want to use your normal routine is to get up and go get you some breakfast or go get your hair, your nails done or something like that. And when you come back, now you're watching TV and you don't got all into it, or you're distracted. This is what we mean by procrastination. It's you procrastination with procrastination, you're gonna put it off and you're gonna delay it or postpone it, thinking that you got time, but you're not gonna have time. And this is one of the reasons why we fall short in our daily lives and with the things that we want to accomplish in life because we keep putting it off when we could be doing it that particular day. And a lot of times we don't even have nothing to do. A lot of times we just be bored. And boredom is one of the components of procrastination. Why I say boredom is one of the components is because when you're bored, like when you're bored, you ain't gonna look at that project and want to do that project. You're not. You're gonna look at that project and you're just not gonna you just gonna that project is gonna sit there. Ain't nothing gonna happen with that project because you're bored. And bored just means I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to do nothing. I ain't got nothing to do. And that's what happens. You don't do nothing. And here it is, another project is put off. So let me help you out here. And these are some of this stuff is things that I picked up, but a lot of it I studied some of this. So I'm giving you stuff that I kind of studied on. So this says here that when we procrastinate, we're not only aware that we're avoiding the task in question, but also that doing so is probably a bad idea, and yet we do it anyway. It doesn't make sense because we feel like it doesn't. Dr. Fuchsius Sorois said that it doesn't make sense to do something is going to have negative consequences. Now, why did she say that? That's because when we procrastinate, sometimes we put it off because we're in fear. Hey, Randall, how you doing? Sometimes we put it off because we're in fear. In fear, maybe that it won't work. Maybe that we won't be able to accomplish it. Maybe that we can't complete the task. That's why it has negative consequences because then we don't get it done. And what happens when you don't do something that has a deadline for the job? You don't do something that is a deadline for the kids at school or for you at work. It can cause issues. Child can get an F on the project. You can get fired on the job because you didn't complete the project. So procrastination is bad in a sense, and I'll make it make sense. But she also stated that people engage in this irrational cycle of chronic procrastination because of an inability to manage negative moods around tasks. We don't know how to manage our negative mood around the task. So when we get distracted and we decide that we're not going to do this particular task, we don't know how to manage that. We don't know how to manage the negative thought of fear around the task. How can you move from I can do this and it's going to be the greatest thing and I know that they're going to like it to what I'm saying? How can you move away from that into this is what it is? I'm about to do this, and that's what it is. You like it or you don't, but I'm gonna get it done. Different folks with different strokes, different beliefs, and for people as well. So Procrastination isn't a unique character flaw or a mysterious curse on your ability to manage time, but it's a way of coping with challenging emotions and negative moods induced by certain tasks. This is in short, which means your boredom, your anxiety, your insecurities, your frustrations around, you know, not just doing a project, but just your frustrations, even the resentment. And sometimes that resentment, it kind of holds on to us, takes us into self-doubt. And then it goes beyond that. So we have to really understand why we procrastinate and how we procrastinate. And you have to understand your form of procrastination. What is your form of procrastination? Why do you procrastinate? When you get a task, and you can do this task, why do you procrastinate? Why at home, when we say we want to clean up the house, and it's different areas of the house, why do we procrastinate? Well, for one, the list too long. The longer the list, the longer it's gonna take. So in the midst of that list, we start cutting stuff off. Okay, I'm gonna do this next week. I'll do this tomorrow. I'm finna sleep in that bed tonight, so I'm just going. I ain't even gonna make the bed. I'm gonna sleep in it tonight. We started making those excuses and stuff, you know, and then nothing gets done, right? So then she said, well, he said, Dr. Tim Field said um, that procrastination is an emotion regulation problem, not a time management problem, right? So procrastination, as you can see, is kind of a big deal, you know. Seneca said, while we waste our time hesitating and postponing, life is slipping away. And that's exactly what's happening. While we're sitting back with the fear of maybe this project not going to go right, or maybe this is not going to go right, while we're sitting back with the fear, everybody else is moving on. And now we're looking at everybody else's progress, and we're measuring ourselves up to that and what it could have been. And we start to resenting ourselves because we put the task off, and eventually we put it off so much that it never got done. And it can make you jealous of somebody else's who had something similar to you, and you start thinking that, oh, they took your vision. That's no, you procrastinated. You procrastinated, so time not gonna wait for you. Time don't wait for nobody. You don't get a second chance at time. Time is the only thing we can't get back. So when you procrastinating, and all that time, all that time is gone, you don't get that back. You just got to start from where you at. Because when you can go back and say, I should have had this done 2 weeks ago. But now we 2 weeks from 2 weeks ago, and it's still not done. So no, that's what it is. Procrastinated so much that it didn't get done. You wasted time. So that's what I'm gonna do, because procrastinate is kind of getting me tongue tied. So you don't wait it so long, and you don't put it off so long that it never got done. Now you're resenting yourself, and you're upset, and you're angry because you didn't do what you set out to do. And the number one drawback from procrastination, putting something off, is stress. The stress that it causes on your body for the things that you now are going to think could have been done, where you should have been, what you should have been doing. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's one of the main barriers. Is one of the main barriers blocking you from getting up. That's what procrastination is: making the right decisions and living a dream life that you've thought of. You've thought you got this dream of where your life is supposed to be at. But procrastinate, good guys. But putting it off has kept you from living up to that dream and doing the work around getting the goal accomplished for that dream. Procrastination has kept you from doing that. So now you live in a would have, could have, and should have kind of life. Because if I would have got up and done this, I should have got up and done this, man. I could have did this. I mean, I would have, but that's the word you start living in when you're procrastinating. And nothing still, you're still not getting anything done. Right? So what happens is we start to regret and more the things that we haven't done than the things that we have done. So I know it's a tongue twister. So when we start to regretting the things that we haven't done more than the things that we've done, that's a problem. Now you have again those feelings of regret and guilt resulting, and those result from those missed opportunities of what you could have and should have and would have done. Those type of that type of regrets tends to stick with us a little bit longer than any other regret. Because when we put off today for something that we feel we can do tomorrow, and then it still never gets done, we feel guilty and we feel resentful. And that right there keeps us bound. That right there makes us sick. That right there causes stress. See, we don't know why our body's going through all these changes. A lot of this stuff ain't hereditary. A lot of this stuff is just you wish you could have done something, but you didn't. So now you're stressed. Some of that stuff is procrastination. Now, why do people procrastinate? Willpower. So what did they say? They say willpower is often perceived to be the leading cause of procrastination, but it's mainly our intrinsic motivation that helps us to overcome the habit of putting things off on a daily basis. So what are some things? Decision paralysis, right? That's the number of opportunity that today's world offers is staggering. So why aren't people today significantly happier than in the past? I'll tell you why. Because with more freedom to make our own decisions, I wrote this down. With more freedom to make our own decisions and to perform our actions, we have become easily confused about what is priority. I couldn't agree with that statement. I could no more than not agreeing with it. What is essential and what is not, what is right and what is wrong. And therefore we are demotivated to do anything at all. So what we have to do is we need to straighten out our vision, our the value of our personal visions. My dog was over there tripping. Hey, the values and our personal visions, and then we need to cultivate our positive habits, meaning whatever habits you have that are positive, put them into play so that you can become more motivated into completing whatever task is you set before you, whatever task is set before you by someone else. Okay. Another one is ignoring the value of time. Again, as I stated to you before, the time we spend on earth is limited and the time we spend on earth is finite. So we don't get any of that back. We had a time where we came into this world and we got a time that we're going to leave out of this world. And you got to understand the time for when we leave out of this world and for the time for when we come in this world, those are two. We're not going to miss that appointment. We didn't miss the appointment of coming into this world. We're not going to miss the appointment of leaving out of this world. So time is not on our side. Biblically, Ecclesiastes 9:10, it tells us. Let me read it. It says, whatever your hands find to do, do it with all your might. For in the realm of the dead, when you are dead and gone and not coming back, which is where you are going, there is neither working, nor planning, nor knowledge, nor wisdom. You don't know nothing. You're not working. You just there. In other words, John 9:4. Is that John 9:4? Yeah. Work while it's day, because when night falls, can't no man work. And just to be clear, yep, John 9:4. As long as it is day, we must do the works for him who sent me. Night is coming when no one can work. So you got to do today. You can't put off today for what you want to do tomorrow. You can't do that. You need to do today what you can do today, and let tomorrow fulfill itself. Let tomorrow be tomorrow. Because today, God is tasking you with some things. And if you're Christian, whatever other religion that serves God, if y'all is if you're reading the scripture, there's a whole lot of things that he has tasked us with that we have to comply with. We have to believe can happen. We have to be set apart from. Those are tasks that must happen in our lives in order for us to make it into the kingdom. Let's keep going. Lack of self-discipline. Lack of self-discipline, which is self-discipline or self-control, which is giving yourself let's just say Prophet is rewarding you. Say, I'm gonna plait my hair, I'm gonna braid my hair, and you know you only got the weekend to do it. You ain't washed your hair yet. You ain't even took the other plaits out, but you know you got to wash your hair, and you know it's tedious and it's gonna take some time because you got to plait it, and that's a whole lot of hair to plait. But the minute you decide you want to start on your hair and you get everything in play, everything set on the table, then it's time to cook. So now you got to cook dinner. Now you still see all that stuff sitting on the table before you do your hair. But now you got to fix plates. You got to feed the husband, you got to feed the kids. Once they get finished, you got to wash the dishes. There's a whole nother hour done went by. It's about 7:00. You still looking at that hair and all that stuff on the table, and you're looking at it, and you're saying to yourself, man, it's 7:00. It's gonna take me forever to do my hair. I can't start that right now. So I started in the morning. But now you got to ball your hair up into some type of ball because now you got to go to church. And you say, I'll do it when we get out of church. But when you get out of church, you got to go and you got to feed family. You got to make sure the family all right. So here comes a weekend that you wanted to do your hair and you couldn't do your hair because of the many distractions, of the many things that got in the way, of the other things that took priority over your self-care. So now you got this stuff in your head one more week and you walking around doing like this because it itch real bad and you ain't seen about yourself, but everybody else taken care of. Procrastination. And I'm going to break this down too, because a lot of people confuse procrastination with laziness. Procrastination is not laziness. Procrastination, you put off doing things and you leave them to the very last moment, or sometimes you even spend time staring at it, and it's never, you never get done. However, with procrastination, it's not a synonym for lazy. Lazy people simply don't do anything, and they're fine with that. They're fine with that. They lazy. They don't do nothing no way. They're okay with that. But a procrastinator, on the other hand, has the desire to actually do something, but they can't force themselves to start. Somebody better catch that. Somebody better catch that. Because you're not lazy because you're procrastinating. You want to do something. You have a task. You have a project. It's you just can't force yourself to start. Y'all been there. Y'all been there. You say you want to cook dinner. The family tell you got to make all the dessert for Christmas this year, and you say okay. You don't already tell them yeah because that's what you like doing and that's what you want to do. But you don't got this new job that got new hours, and you didn't realize now that you work on the holidays. So it don't been 3 weeks don't pass by. You don't procrastinate and didn't tell the family that you might not be able to do it. So because you want to do it, so you're gonna accept the challenge anyways, and you feel like because Christmas at the end of the month, you can fulfill that. Yeah, all I gotta do is bake some cakes and stuff like that. But from 1 week to the next, you haven't even been able to get to the store to purchase the ingredients. You haven't even been able to get to a place of let me your mind your thought pattern hasn't even gotten to the place of come the week of I'll make 2 cakes this night, 2 cakes that night, because you want to fulfill it, and you don't know how to force yourself to start this or how to start this. You end up saying I'll make all of them the day of and then I just take them over there fresh. But the day of you only make two instead of the five you were supposed to make because you never had the time. You didn't have the time because you procrastinated. If you know like me, I used to make the sweets every year. So I started a day in advance, wrapped everything up when I got finished, and then the day of, I all I had to do was throw about 2 or 3 cakes in the oven, frost them, and everything else is done. Time management. Procrastination, uh, and with procrastination and laziness, we need to you need to start learning the term. So procrastinate is procrastinating. That's what you need to call it instead of using the term laziness or putting things off. Say putting things off or procrastination, but don't call it laziness because that's a more accurate description of the issue or the situation that's at hand. That's a more accurate description, right? So when you give name to your problem, then you'll understand and you can begin working on it. So now you know your problem is procrastination. Give your issue the correct name so you can begin to work on it. I'm not lazy. I just procrastinate. That's what you need to say to yourself. I put things off. I'm not lazy where I don't want to do it. I know I got to get it done, but I'm just putting it off. The power of life and death lies in the tongue. So you have to understand what situation you in and what name to give it. Because you're calling yourself lazy, and therefore lazy is sitting in when all you is a procrastinator. You just procrastinate a lot. You just put things off all the time. Sometimes you get it done, sometimes you don't. But you're not lazy because you're not doing it. There's lazy people. I know lazy people that don't do nothing. They ain't even gonna think about it. But when you procrastinate, it's because you are putting it off. You want to do it. You just got to figure out how to do it and how to force yourself to do it. And then also don't confuse procrastination with relaxation because relaxing recharges you with energy. But in contrast, procrastination drains it from you. What you say? The less energy you have, the more stressed or even depressed you might have become, and the higher the chances of you putting off your responsibilities are. Got that? So the opposite of procrastination is actually getting things done. Procrastination is putting off. The opposite would be getting things done. Then you could be able to relax and deal with your workload as well as you want to deal with it. So again, If there's something that you need to do, and you know the area where you procrastinate in, I would admonish you to not put so much on your to-do list. Give yourself a today list. What are you going to do today? Because I can put a to-do list together for this week, but in that week, I may not accomplish that entire to-do list because other things are arising, like work, family, you know, husband, all that. So I may not finish that to-do list because it has a long amount of things. So what I'm going to do is from week to week or from day to day, my today list, I'll clean my bathroom today. I'll clean my other bathroom tomorrow. I'll clean my kitchen on Wednesday. Thursday, I'll clean the bedroom. Friday, I'll wash the clothing. On Saturday, I'll sum it all up and go back over it. One thing at a time, so you're not piling too much on your plate, which will cause you to procrastinate and not get something done. You won't start a business overnight. So that's why it's very important for you to understand why most of us always say, and the Bible declares, write the vision and make it plain. You need to write everything out first. Then step by step, by step, by step, because you're not going to rush the process of a business. But you can slow the process of getting that business out there and getting that business completely put together by your procrastination. Short version, people procrastinate for specific reasons. And I'm going to just give you some of them. There was a whole list of them, but I'm going to give you some that I personally dealt with and understand. You procrastinate because there's rewards that are far in the future. It's a disconnect from our future self. Feeling overwhelmed. We procrastinate because we feel overwhelmed. It's too hard. It's too difficult. Okay, maybe I'll start on it tomorrow. But what if your tomorrow never comes? Because the Bible declares tomorrow is not promised to us. We're not promised tomorrow. So we can't put off what we got to do today, tomorrow, because you may not get a chance to do that tomorrow. And if you don't complete your assignment, I'm not sure about your seat in the kingdom, because you have an assignment. You got to win that crown and them stones. So once you win that crown and them stones, it's because you completed the assignment. You completed the task at hand. You didn't let anything out here stop you from doing it. Procrastination, you didn't put it off. You knew that it had to be done. Anxiety, task aversion. Again, putting too much together at one time and looking at it, knowing you can't complete all this in that day or in that deadline you gave yourself. So now you're feeling overwhelmed with doing it. And it could stop you from doing it. Perfectionism. You know, some people that say, if I can't get it perfect, I ain't finna start it. I don't want to do it because it got to be perfect. I don't know what business, I don't know what hairstyle sometimes going to be perfect when you first put it in. That's why sometimes people have do-overs. Take the ponytail down, put it a little tighter. Okay, that means you got to do it over. That means she wants you to take it out and just put a little bit tighter because it was a little bit too loose. So now you got to take it out and recomb it, brush it up, and put the rubber band back on it, only this time tighter. It ain't going to be perfect. Nothing is ever perfect. And I don't know why we feel as though we're perfect, but we're not. Fear of evaluation or negative feedback. Don't be afraid don't be afraid to allow somebody to give you feedback, constructive feedback. People going to give you negative feedback. It may not be constructive, but just pull them to the side and talk to them, But don't let that diminish the vision you have. Don't let that keep you from starting. Don't let that allow you to procrastinate. And as I said in the beginning, boredom. I don't want to do it, and I'd rather go do something else. Fear of failure. Don't be afraid to fail. The most successful person in this world failed at it a whole bunch of times before he got it right, before she got it right. So if you're thinking that what you put together is going to be, it's supposed to be success right off the back and everybody's supposed to like it and everybody is just supposed to be like that, you're wrong. You put it together and it just didn't work and it just flopped in your face, you're wrong. Don't be afraid to fail, because in that failure, you're going to learn from the mistake. And while you're rebuilding, you're going to say, well, I'm not going to do that this time because that didn't work. So let me try this. Right? We have to give ourselves a chance. But if we procrastinate, if we keep putting it off, it'll never get done. The only person you can blame for that is you, because you can go ask somebody for help. You can ask somebody to be a partner with you. It's whatever you want, you can ask for it. We don't have to put things off because we're afraid to fail, or because we're in fear of what somebody else is going to say about it, or because we don't want that negative feedback, or because we don't want somebody to tell us, maybe if you do it like this, it'll probably work better. I mean, they got all these people in these businesses, market analysis, and proofreaders, and editors, people who help us out, assistants, people who help us out and could tell us that, hey, you missed the I, you forgot to dot your I right there. Don't send it out like that. Dot the I first. But we don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that we messed up. That ain't a failure. It's just here. Next time, before you put it out, it's perfect for you. But before you put it out, just dot the I. Somebody watching your back. That's all. A perceived lack of control. ADHD. That's just somebody that don't know how to multitask. They'll start something over here, and then the next minute, they'll be doing something over there. Then the next minute, they'll forget that they had something to do in the first place. And then the next minute, they probably out the door. They probably going into the streets. They probably went to start on another project. They probably started thinking about something else. They probably went to watch TV, went to read a book. Can't concentrate, can't focus. Right? Depression. I don't try this so many times and I failed at it so many times that, I just don't want to do it no more. You're depressed now. We buying that up. Lack of motivation. Get yourself motivated. Lack of energy. And then sensation seeking. You don't need no attention. To successfully deal with your procrastination, you need to figure out why you're procrastinating, and then how your procrastination is preventing you from achieving your goals. What form of procrastination is it? What kind of procrastination do you have? What area are you procrastinating in? Let's identify that first. Okay? Let me see. And then I said one of the biggest drawbacks of procrastination is stress. Why? So let me break that down. When we put off something at the last minute, it leads to stressful responses from our body, right? We start to feeling nervous. We start to feeling anxious, that it won't get done, or that or completed, which leads to headaches, stomach pains, ulcers, tension headaches, all that type of stuff. Not accomplishing work, wasted time. You put all your time into a vision you want to see come to fruition, but you don't know how to start with it. That's procrastination is big. And it's one of the is about one of the biggest reasons to me as to why we don't get done things that we need to get done. It's why we stay mad. It's why we be jealous of everybody else that's got something going and we ain't got nothing going. And it's not bad. It's just if you can't force yourself to start something, then understand that's a problem. Understand that you have a problem in that area and it needs to be fixed because missing deadlines, all that type of stuff. So let me help you. I'm gonna give you this. I gave you the scripture, right? I said Ecclesiastes 9, um, in Ecclesiastes 9 and 10. I be trying to write in this thing, y'all, but then it take me away from talking. So, prophetess, if you're still on here, you can write that in there. Ecclesiastes 9 and 10. Whatever your hand finds to do, do it with all your might. For in the realm of the dead, where you are going, there is neither working, nor planning, nor knowledge, nor wisdom. People, we have got to work now. We are not, we are, next year is 2022. We in the times that we used to look at back in the 80s and the 70s on TV, in these and we used to look at them say it's 2024, 2020, 28 on TV. I know y'all seen movies like that. Sylvester Stallone played in a couple. So did Van Damme. So we're not in the we're not in that time. You got to work on building yourself, building something for you. I'm gonna put it in here, y'all. Okay. Then I'm gonna also give you Ecclesiastes 11 and 4. Whoever watches the wind will not plant. Whoever looks at the clouds will not reap. So if you're trying to watch how hard the wind blowing in certain areas and what you can't do because it's too windy over there, there's a storm over there, or it don't look right over there, then you ain't gonna get to work. You ain't gonna start working because it's too many excuses of what it looked like instead of you trying to resolve the situation as to what it could be like and what you can make it into. And that was 11 and 4. Okay. Okay. And then John 9 and 4, which I've already spoken on as well. As long as that is day, it is day, we must do the works of him who sent me. Night is coming when no man can work. So I'll leave this with you. Procrastination is very, 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 very bad when you know you got to get something done and you don't know how to start it. If we what we have to do is we have to start to putting some habits into place. I got this I got this project of I give you an example of me. I told myself that I know I work and it probably would be hard, but every Friday night I'm gonna do my Friday straight transparency. I let my audience know on those weeks that I won't be able to, but I'll let them know yet still when I'm not gonna be on. So every Friday. I don't let anything get in the way because my house knows that I'm gonna be here at this table at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, which is 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, if I start to doing other things getting in the way, now I'm putting off this for the next Friday. And then I keep saying I got to handle this and handle that. I put it off for the next Friday. Anytime you can't complete a task because there's something else got in the way, or because you got distracted by something else and you decided that, oh, I can just do it tomorrow. That's procrastination. You're putting it off. And sometimes you don't get a chance to do it. So to overcome your procrastinations, number one, you need to become aware of the reason why you're procrastinating. What's that reason? Why are you procrastinating? Number two, you need to write down the benefits. If you stop, what would the benefits be if you stop procrastinating? Write that down. For one, you're going to get the task done. For two, you won't be so stressed out. For three, you won't be rushing yourself to get to a deadline. So write down the benefits, what benefits it would be if you stop procrastinating. Number three, what are the consequences if you don't stop procrastinating? One, you ain't gonna never get the vision. The vision ain't gonna never be put into play. It'll never operate. You'll never get nothing done. You'll always worry about everything else, but you won't be priority. Therefore, stress will come to you. Therefore, you'll start getting burnt out. Therefore, you'll be the person that's tired, frustrated, because you keep procrastinating on what you could possibly be doing for you. Number four, you need to self-evaluate and study yourself. Identify your particular form of procrastination. There is a particular form of procrastination in all of us. We procrastinate for what? We want to make money. You can't make money. You say you love money. You can't love money. You can't make money. And you can't have money in your pocket if you're sitting on the couch. You can't have money in your pocket if you keep saying you're going to go and apply for that position tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes and you don't apply for it. And then you say, I'll go tomorrow. And then you catch yourself sitting on the couch again. Then you'll say, I'll go tomorrow. Then here comes another excuse. I'll go tomorrow. It'd be 2 weeks and you still ain't going to apply for the job. Now the job ain't available no more. Now what? Now you mad because won't nobody else let you borrow no money. You mad because ain't nobody else finna keep giving you all their money out their pocket. You mad because ain't nobody finna pay that bill for you when you can get up and get a job. You mad because you grown and ain't nobody finna take care of grown people. I'm just being real. Remember, this is a transparent show. Sometimes, granted, people can't do it, but sometimes you got to get up and you got to get it for yourself. Early bird catch worm. Ain't no bird gonna be flying out there if he ain't hungry. What you doing? Just flying because you got wings? You ain't trying to accomplish nothing? You ain't even trying to get food? And number five, take small steps, but be consistent in your action steps towards meeting that goal. Okay? Be persistent and consistent in those action steps towards that particular goal. So make sure, one, you're aware of the reason why you're procrastinating. Number two, you know the benefits. What are the benefits that you can get from not procrastinating if you stop procrastinating? Number three, what are the consequences if you don't stop procrastinating? And number four, you need to self-evaluate and study yourself so that you can identify the particular form of procrastination. And number five, you need to take small steps when you notice, when you can figure out the form of procrastination. Now you need to take small steps toward but consistent action steps towards completing that goal. And I promise you, once you get the art of not procrastinating, you can have the wealth of all the knowledge. You can have a wealth of what you're the project and what you're putting together. You can have the wealth of all of that to come into play where you're not frustrated and where you're not overwhelmed. So I just wanted to come and talk to y'all a little bit about procrastination. Y'all can stop procrastinating, just go do it. Just get it done. Get it done. Don't feel bad that you got something done for yourself and then you procrastinated for somebody else. If you never do nothing for yourself and always doing something for everybody else and you start procrastinating when it comes to them and you finish you, be grateful. That's your self-care. You won't be so stressed out. You know you got to get it done, but you won't be stressing yourself out. So join me next Friday for another episode of Friday Straight Transparency. I don't know what the topic's going to be, but I'm praying about it because y'all know me. I only want to keep it raw. I only want to keep it real, truthful, and transparent. Peace.